Wait, where?
There's another one too.
Where?
Oh,
look at that.
Please, guys.
There's another one.
No, we're just excited. We're not.
Yeah,
They
four.
keep coming.
Wait, I see. Whoa, look at them.
I got that one on video.
There's just 4 of them. Look at there's 3 of them all together.
I got the third one popping in.
Over to your left.
There's one behind the chimney.
One just flared up.
I got 4 of them.
I got 5.
Major sighting here.
No, there's 5.
Oh!
Another one just showed up.
They're multiplying.
Whoa!
Maybe somebody's setting up lights.
Did you see that?
No, those are in the sky.
There's one underneath the house too.
There's one behind the chimney.
Okay, come
We need to go to papers.
I can't see how this works. How does this work?
Holy
Oh, you got to keep
shit.
on.
Have you seen that before?
No.
That's weird.
They're lined up in a pattern, man. There's geometry behind this.
I can't even get this. I've never seen it. Look at that.
Man, this is...
Let's see. Oh, there's 3 of them.
I suspect that unless the Defense Department proves us otherwise, that it was probably some form of an alien spacecraft.
So why didn't he say anything then? Partly, he says, because he didn't want people to panic.
And I think as a public figure you have to be very careful about what you say, because people can have pretty emotional reactions.
Joint Chiefs of Staff talk to you or concern you about the unknown and the unidentified flying object?
Oh, yes, we discussed it at every conference that we had with the military, and they never were able to make me a concrete report on
Do you have
what
anything
they'd
on the
see.
subject, sir?
No, I hadn't anything on the subject, and there's always things like that going on, flying saucers, and they've had other things, you know.
We were hell-bent in the direction of destroying our planet. And frankly, we appear to be doing very little about it. Decades ago, visitors from other planets warned us about where we were headed and offered to help. But instead, we, or at least some of us, interpreted their visits as a threat and decided to shoot first and ask questions after. The inevitable result was that some of our planes were lost, but how many were due to retaliation and how many were as a result of our own stupidity is a moot point.
Carp, Ontario. Another disc, much closer, and this time on the ground. The object was photographed behind this house.
On my property, I've seen lots of bright flames. They were not like spreading fires, they were more individual flames going extremely high and a lot of smoke. I saw this bright light. Right on top of it was like a beak, and it was blue light pulsing, and it had a light right on the bottom and a light right in the middle of it. And I've seen a ship just coming down over the tree and going very closer to the flames. That night was a very traumatic night for me. I can always remember that night. It will never be forgotten.
I looked out the back window, and in the sky was a great golden globe with a thin red rim. The only thing that came to mind quickly was that it was lightning, but I'd never seen lightning in a circular form.
There was one specific area, a circular pattern really, where all of the plant life had been exposed to some form of radiation, and by that I mean it just kind of melted. Real healthy bushes just melted to the ground.
You can see some indication that there's a solid craft there that you can see the top of and also see something underneath. But at least there is the hint of a cylindrical object here.
It was a ship. It was a ship as big as my house.
UFO over China. According to reports, an airport in Inner Mongolia was forced to shut down to prevent passenger jets from crashing into the unidentified flying object. Witnesses reported a bright light shining in the sky before it suddenly vanished. On July 8th, Shaoshan International Airport was shut down because of a UFO. Officials later confirmed the object sighted was part of a military test. This latest show in the sky makes for the 8th reported UFO sighting in China since June.
El otro día también se aventaron. No, pero ahí se ve el paracaídas ir arriba, mira. Ahí se mira arriba, mira.
Pero ¿y por qué se apagan?
Esos se están identificando para que no pase un avión por ellos.
Ella iba a la avioneta donde se aventaron.
Los anda pegando, mira.
Yo que me voy a ver. ¡Hombre, hasta espanta!
Mira, allá está el otro, allá.
Ay, de veras.
Más abajo, Mitzi. Se ve bonito.
Mija, cierra esa ventana porque ahí está tu hermano. ¿Más se pegó otra? Lorita. Cierra eso ya.
¿Son paracaidistas?
Porque ahí anda la avioneta.
Clarity, dude. Hey. 3.2 megapixels.
What the fuck?
Take a video, take a video.
Oh my god! That is so cool! That one thing has been staying there for so long. Two of them. What the hell is that? Oh my god!
¿Tané?
Ese no fue el que vi ayer.
Si esos son aviones de caperucita roja.
¿Cómo han dado noticia? ¿Esa hueá es rara o no?
Nunca había visto algo así.
Como que la luz se siguiera y eso hasta la cordillera.
No hay que se muevan tan rápido.
Y se pierde.
Y desaparecen.
Deberíamos tener un teléfono para llamar. Pero acá de donde venían de ayer y del igual, no nos quedan mirando, Carlos.
Salieron detrás de la cordillera.
Después como que se desvanece, se ven unas luces así intermitentes.
Pero es que ahorita las tres que iban por ahí desaparecieron en el aire. Sí, sí, lo estoy viendo. Estoy grabando. Ahora van hacia...
Ahora vienen hacia acá, pues.
Sí, pero aquí es cuando como se...
Ahí cuando se empiezan a... Oye, pero igual es como...
Mira, hay unos que vienen de vuelta. Que se ven negro.
De vuelta.
Bueno, se ven en la cámara, no se ven así un poquito.
Mira, hija. Mira, esposo.
Sí, se ve.
Es lo mismo que yo vi el año pasado, pues. Llámalo, dile que tu papá quiere conocerlo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Me parece que yo estoy inventando de verdad. Y ahí se empezaron a ir hacia la derecha, ¿no?
Some outside universal threat. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet, I ask you, is not an alien force already among us?
The reason I state that, when I got out in 1989, we had cataloged 57 different species. You have individuals that look very much like you and myself that could walk among us and you wouldn't even notice the difference, except for some of the things that they might be able to go ahead, even in a dark room, and touch an object and go ahead and identify what color that object might be. They would have a heightened sense of smell, sight, hearing. The situation is that you have various types of what we normally call grays. We didn't call them grays in the military, but you had at least 3 types of the grays. You had some that were much taller than we were. The unique thing that I'd like to point out for the most part is that the entities that we did catalog were in fact humanoid.
Subject of UFOs in particular has been relegated to tabloid journalism, arena of science fiction. Why is it, do you suppose, or do you believe that it's been given a fair shake by science, and if not, why not?
No, it hasn't, because it's rather clear there's been a lot of misinformation, disinformation. There's been a very active effort on the part of presumably people in the know to discourage public participation, media participation, to discredit the whole area. And that seems to have been true for at least 50 years. And also the very existence of an extraterrestrial presence.
The public is ready to know if anyone has visited us. They can accept that, and they want it.
February 25th marks an anniversary that few remember and some refuse to forget. In 1942, an unidentified object was seen hovering over the California coast. The military, poised to defend the coast from a foreign invasion, took aim and fired. The event, called the Battle of Los Angeles, made headlines. What was in the sky and where did it go? Filmmaker and UFO researcher Jose Escamilla highlights the events of that night.
What happened at 2 in the morning, some objects entered into our airspace. One of them hovered right over Santa Monica and Culver City. Some described it as a round, dome-shaped object that was about 100 feet diameter. Some of them said it was a little smaller. But the unique thing about it is the military, the Army, started firing at this thing for about an hour, hour and a half, but they could not bring the object down.
Within 24 hours, the Department of War sent a memo to the President detailing the incident as possibly unidentified airplanes flying at various speeds and declaring the investigation ongoing. But that came to an abrupt end when the Army declared the flying object a weather balloon, sparking theories of a government cover-up.
If they can't bring down a weather balloon with over 1,500 rounds of anti-aircraft shrapnel, 12 pounds weaponry, what are they going to do against a real enemy target? That's what they decided. What do? Do we tell the American and the world public there is something among us that we cannot bring down, we cannot control, we don't know where they're from, and we don't know what they're doing here? No, they didn't want to say that. So the next best thing to do was to just officially deny their existence. That's when the first official denial on UFOs started.
I'm Fife Symington. In 1997, during my second term as governor of Arizona, I saw something that defied logic and challenged my reality. I witnessed a massive delta-shaped craft that silently navigated over the Squaw Peak area in North Phoenix in the evening, and it was truly breathtaking. To my astonishment, it appeared to be a solid structure. It was huge. It had a very distinctive leading edge with huge embedded lights in it, and it was just traveling quietly, made no sound, through the Arizona night sky. I still don't know what it was. As a pilot and a former Air Force officer, I can definitively say that this craft did not resemble any man-made object that I'd ever seen. And it was certainly not high-altitude flares as put out by the Air Force at Luke Air Force Base, because I've never seen flares fly in formation. The incident was witnessed by hundreds, if not thousands, of people in Maricopa County and in southern Arizona, and my office was besieged with phone calls from very concerned citizens. The growing hysteria intensified when the story broke nationally, and so I decided to lighten the mood of the state, and I called a press conference where I dressed up my chief of staff in a Martian outfit. It was meant to be a spoof, a good-natured spoof. That worked. We managed to lessen the sense of panic at the time, but I also upset quite a few of my constituents. Well, I'd like now to set the record straight. I never meant to ridicule anyone. We want the United States government to stop perpetuating the myth that all UFOs can be explained away in down-to-earth and conventional terms. Instead, our country needs to reopen its official investigation that it shut down in 1969. The United States government can no longer shun an international dialogue about this phenomenon.
When you look at stuff like this, and I don't know if anybody out here, I'm sure there is quite a few, have had a UFO sighting. Once you have one, it's hard to go back to just your normal realm, you know? Things change.